Hello everyone, welcome back to Study Russ once again. Today through this video I intend to discuss how to decide on the helping verbs when it comes to the progressive tense. ඔබ සියලු දෙනාම යලිත් වාරයක් Study Russ මගේ YouTube channel එකට සාදරයෙන් පිළිගන්නවා. අද දිනේ මා සාකච්ඡා කිරීමට බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ අපි කොහොමද මේ ආධාරක ක්‍රියාපද හරියට අඳුරගන්නේ කියලා මේ progressive tense sentence pattern වලදී. Okay, so let's get back to the topic and see whether what we are trying to achieve today. So our topic today is how to decide on helping verbs in progressive tense. Again, කොහොමද අපි මේ ආධාරක ක්‍රියාපද අඳුරගන්නේ කියලා මේ progressive tense sentences වලදී. Here it's important for us to look at the structure of a progressive tense sentence. So let's look at the structure of a progressive tense sentence. So first of all, let's do a quick recap. So what do you understand by progressive tense? So progressive tense is something that had started in the past, that is happening right now, and which is continuing to happen to the future. කියන්නේ මොකද්ද මේ progressive tense කියන්නේ? Progressive tense කියන්නේ අතීතයේ පටන් අරගෙන වර්තමානයේත් වෙමින් පවතින අනාගතයටත් සිදුවෙන ක්‍රියාවලියක්. So as you can see, I have put up the structure of a progressive tense sentence. We have the subject. Subject is the person or thing which does the action or the verb of a sentence. Okay, and then we have the helping verb. So this is what we are going to talk today. Then we have the verb. Again, මූලික ක්‍රියාව. මේ ආධාරක ක්‍රියාව, මේ මූලික ක්‍රියාව. කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? So the action that the subject performs. Then we have the ing. So why we are using the ing in progressive tense? That is to show that the action is happening. Again, අපි දැන් running, eat, eating. Okay, so likewise when you add the ing to the end of the main form of the verb, it gives the impression that it is something that is happening. So what do you understand by the object? Object in the sense, object is the person or the thing who receives the action of the subject in a sentence. Again, මේ වාක්‍යයේ මේ සිදුවෙන ක්‍රියාවලියෙන් ඒ ප්‍රතිඵලයට ලක් වෙන හෝ ප්‍රතිඵලය ලබන තැනට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ object එකක් කියලා. So mostly when you think of the subjects, so as the subjects we mainly use nouns. Okay. And also we can use a pronoun. So when we are using a pronoun as the subject of a sentence, we call it as a subjective case. Again, අපි මේ මූලික වශයෙන් නාමපදයක් තමයි භාවිතා කරන්නේ යම්කිසි වාක්‍යයක කර්තෘ විදිහට. නමුත් අපිට ඕන සර්වනාම පදයකුත් භාවිතා කිරීමේ හැකියාව තියෙනවා. So let's look at what are the subjective cases that what are the pronouns that we can use as subjective cases, or you can also call it as a nominative case. Okay, so let's start with I. I is the first nominative or subjective case. Here there's another thing that I would like to tell you. The subjective cases, the pronouns that we can use as subjective cases, we can again divided into three main areas depending on the point of view. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ අපි subjective case විදියට යොදා ගන්න නම් මේ සර්වනාම පද අපිට පුළුවන් මේ යලිත් වාරයක් ප්‍රධාන කාණ්ඩ තුනක් යටතේ වර්ග කරන්න. ඒ වර්ග කරන්න අපි යොදා ගන්න මානය තමයි මම කියන තැනත්තා මූලික කරගෙන අපි යම්කිසි දෙයක් දිහා බලනකොට අපිට ඒක පේන විදිහ. We call it as the point of view. So what do you understand by point of view? So point of view means like from your point of view how you see something. Okay, now you have the I here. As far as I am concerned how I see, the rest of the surrounding or rest of the things. Okay, so as the first subjective case, if you use I, again අපි මූලිකම subjective case එක විදිහට අපි යොදනවා මේ මම කියන සර්වනාම පදය අපි මේ මෙතන පාවිච්චි කරනවා. ඒකට අපි කියනවා මේ it comes under first person. So first person, first pronoun that we use as the subjective case is I. I තමයි අපි ප්‍රධාන වශයෙන් මේ භාවිතා කරන subjective case එක first person යටතේ මේ subjective case එකක් විදිහට. So I is singular. I කිව්වහම ඒක වචන singular. Okay, then under first person we have another subjective case which is a plural. Then we have we. We is plural. අපි බහුවචන. ඒක I කියන්නේ ඒක වචන. මම ඊළඟට අපි මමත් ඇතුළුව. So including I, that is we. Okay. Then you have the second person. Second person, under second person. So then who is in front of you? Okay, again ඔයා ඉස්සරහා ඉන්න කෙනා. ඒ කියන්නේ අපි කියන you කියලා. So the you තමයි අපි මේ second person subjective case එක විදිහට යොදාගන්නේ. කියන්නේ so the second person the pronoun that we use as a subjective case is the you. When you say you, there's something unique about you. There's no singular or plural. For both singular and plural, we are using you. So singular and plural both is what it's you. And then you're talking about someone who is not there, who is not in the vicinity. කියන්නේ එතන නැති එක්කෙනෙක් ගැන කතා කරනවා නම්. So that is we can show under third person. So third person you mainly have three pronouns that we use under the singular category. You can ඒක වචන විදිහට අපි යොදා ගන්න පුළුවන්. මේ සරණාම පද තුනක් තියෙනවා. First one is he, she, it. That is singular. Okay, and then what is the plural of that you can use? That is the plural that you can use instead of all these three. That is they. Then you have they. They is again plural. Okay, so these are the pronouns that you can use as a subject of a sentence which fall under the category of subjective cases. Okay, so the angle that you're using to look at these is called the point of view. Your point of view, first person, second person and third person. So then let's think of what are the helping verbs that we are using, because the thing what you need to understand is in a sentence like this, always the helping verb is being determined by the subject. And when we do few examples, you would understand this better. Okay, so helping verbs. So what are the present progressive helping verbs that we'll be using with each of these pronouns? So if you use I as the subject of a sentence, then the helping verb, rather you can call it as even the subjective case, the helping verb will be am. Always am in present progressive. Okay, if you're using we as the subject, then the helping verb is are. and if you're using you, it's are. So these things are norms, so these won't change. Again, මේවා නියතයන්, මේවා වෙනස් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Then he, she, it, we have is, and again plural they, we use are. So here, as you can see, whenever you have a plural, you have used are. So here you can take it as a plural as well, so using are, and wherever you have plurals you have used are. And first person I, we have am, and third person he, she, it, which is also singular, we have is. Okay, so you can see some pattern here. කියන්නේ මේ බහුවචන මේ සර්වනාම පදත් එක්ක යොදන ආධාරක ක්‍රියාපදය හැම වෙලේම ආ තමයි present progressive tense pattern එකේදී. ඊට අමතරව අපිට මේ first person I නැත්නම් මම කියන helping verb එක මම කියන මේ සර්වනාම පදයට කියන helping verb එක විදිහට අපි am යොදනවා. ඊට අමතරව මේ third person he, she, it කියන මේ ඒකවචන පදත් එක්ක සර්වනාම ඒකවචන සර්වනාමත් එක්ක යොදන helping verb එක ඇවිල්ලා is. So let's see how we would put this into a sentence now in terms of determining the usage of these helping verbs. Okay, now let's try to understand the usage of these helping verbs by using them in sentences. Okay, for example, if we take a sentence like first we'll start with I. Let's say I am reading a book. Okay, so it's a very simple sentence I have taken. අපි මේ බලමු මේ උදාහරණයක් විදිහට මේ වගේ වාක්‍යයක් අරගෙන. When you say I am reading a book, so we have the subject as I, okay, and then helping verb. So I said in present progressive, whenever we use the I as the subject, the helping verb would be am. So we have that I am. Read is the verb. කියන්නේ මේකේ මූලික ක්‍රියාපදය වෙන්නේ read කියන එක. නමුත් මෙතන progressive tense ඉඳ අපි ing add කරලා දිනවා reading වෙනවා. එතකොට book තමයි object එක. මම පොතක් කියවමින් සිටිනවා කියන එක තමයි මේ වාක්‍යයෙන් කියවෙන්නේ. I am reading a book. එතකොට මේ උගලන්ට පැහැදිලි කරන විදිහට මේ පේනවා මේ හැම වෙලේම මෙතන I කර්තෘ විදිහට යොදපු හින්දා අපි am යොදනවා මේ ආධාරක ක්‍රියාපදයේ විදිහට. Okay, so let's change the subject to we. We. Then we can't have am. So we have to change the helping verb to are. As you can see, if you use the first person we, always the helping verb is are. මෙතන අපි යොදනවා මේ we are. Okay, so we change the subject, we had to change the helping verb as well, but the rest remain the same. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So in present progressive, it is the subject which decides what kind of helping verb that we need to use. The rest pretty much remain the same. So likewise we can now try rest of the subjective cases also and see whether how things are getting changed. So if you use the second person you here, then you don't have to change. It's are again under present progressive. The helping verb for you is are, so we didn't have to change even that. So you are reading a book. ඔයා පොතක් කියවමින් සිටිනවා. So then let's go to the other pronouns. So under third person, the first one is I will use, like, instead of so we can't say it normally. When you say it reading a book, you know, it refers to probably an animal or something which doesn't have you know, any life. So we'll use he. If you say he, then what is the helping verb? That is. He is reading a book. So ohu potak kiyawa means sitna. So likewise we can use she also, then it will be she is reading a book. So as I'm saying, so only what is getting changed is the subject and the helping verb. The rest remain the same. And if we change this to they are, so again we are changing the helping verb according to the subject. So with the they, helping verb that goes is in the present progressive is are. So let's see how these helping verbs are getting changed from present to past. Okay, present to past. So we are talking about now past progressive. අතීතයේ සිදු වෙමින් පැවති ක්‍රියාවක් තමයි අපි past progressive වලදී කතාවට භාජනය කරන්නේ. So when it comes to past progressive, now in the present progressive for I, we use the helping verb am. So am become here was. Okay, and we, for the plural, we in the present progressive we use the helping verb are. Here are becomes were. Okay, and for you, I mean, we're using, instead of are, we're using were in past progressive. He, she, it, instead of am, we're using was. Okay, and again for they, we're using were. Here also I think you can see a pattern here. For singular, we have used was in both occasions, under first person I and under third person he, she, it. But for the plurals, we have used were. And also there is another thing that I would like to tell you at this point. Now, especially under the third person, we have he, she, it. Okay, so he, she, it are pronouns. So when you say he, she, it pronouns, so what are the nouns that could be represented by he, she, it? So basically we have the common nouns and proper nouns. Again, he, she, it කියන මේ සර්වනාම පද වලින් නිරූපණය වෙන නාම පද මොනවද? එතකොට ඒ යට තියෙනවා අපිට මේ common nouns අපිට ගන්න පුළුවන් මේ අපි කිව්වොත් lawyer or doctor or student. So likewise the list goes on. We can say a name of an animal, dog, cat. So those are the common names. But and also if you look at the proper names, like let's look at the name of a person, Mr. Ajit, Mr. Ranjit. Let's take a name of a lady, okay, Mrs. Dayani, or we'll say Irangani. So likewise, actually we can use a lot of we can think of a lot of common nouns and proper nouns, but instead of these pronouns, if you use any of those proper nouns or common nouns, still the rule remain the same, nothing changes. Again, අපි දැන් මේ කිව්ව මේ සර්වනාම පද වෙනුවට අපි ඒ කියපු විදිය මේ common nouns හරි ඒ proper nouns හරි use කරත් මේ ව්‍යාකරණ නීති රීතිය කිසි වෙනසක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. මේ helping verbs අපිට ඒ විදිහටම මේ පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ helping verbs කිසිම වෙනසක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් ඒ මේ වෙනුවට අපිට ආදේශ කරන්න පුළුවන් මේ සරලනාම පද වෙනුවට ඒ proper nouns හරි common nouns හරි අනිත් මේ කිසි දෙයක් වෙනස් නොකර. So let's try to put these into a sentence, okay, so that we would understand better. So I would not change anything. I will use the same example. මම මේ මේ උදාහරණෙම පාවිච්චි කරනවා ඔයගලන්ට මේ වැඩිදුර මේක මේ ඉතා හොඳින් පැහැදිලි වෙන්න හින්දා. We can say the helping verb in past progressive is I was. මම පොතක් කියවමින් තමයි ඒ වෙලාවේ හිටියේ කියන වගේ අර්ථයක් තමයි එතනදී අපිට ලැබෙන්නේ. So I was reading a book. And instead of I, if we use we were. You can say we were. අපි ඒ වෙලාවේ පොතක් කියවමින් තමයි සිටියේ. So here we are talking about something that had happened in the past. So obviously it's past progressive, right? And then if we use you were reading a book. Okay, see, now we did was, were, and then I'm not going to use like all the examples. So since like it is pretty much understandable. So if you use he was, පොතක් කියවමින් තමයි සිටි. So obviously, and then they, if you use they, they කියන මේ අපි බහුවචන පදයේ දුවොත් මෙතන සරලනාම පද විදියට subjective එකේ සරලනාම පද විදියට they were reading a book. ඔවුන් පොතක් කියවමින් තමයි ඒ වෙලාවේ සිටියේ. So see how simple it is. So this is not difficult, but only thing is like now for you to familiarize, it would be better like if you can basically practice as much as possible sentences that you can, so that you will become really thorough with it. ඉගෙන මේක ඇත්තම ඉතාමත් සරලයි. මේක මේ ක්‍රමය අඳුර ගැනීම පමණයි අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ. මේ උගලන් ක්‍රමය අඳුරගත්තට පස්සේ මේ පුළුවන් තරම් උත්සාහ කරන්න මේ විවිධ මේ අදාළ සරලනාම පදවලට යන ආධාරක ක්‍රියාපද යොදාගෙන පුළුවන් තරම් වාක්‍ය ගොඩනගන්න. ඒ වාක්‍ය ගොඩනැගීම තුලින් උගලන්ට මේ ගැන හොඳ අවබෝධයක් ලබා ගන්නට පුළුවන්. So with the promise that I would get back to you all very soon with another video, I would like to say goodbye for the time being. Thank you.